Alright, and we're back on UKSG, hosted through ESA, with some Family Guy Back to the Multiverse, shown off by our very own Mipha. So Mipha, thank you very much for the run, and take it away, buddy.
Thank you. So, uh, this is going to be your standard licensed game. Very broken. Yeah, I'll just get right into it. If you're a little bit about edgy jokes, then this might want to turn away a little bit. But other than that, we should be fine. Anyway, so time's going to start when I press restart level here. So, time in 3, 2, 1, go. So we're playing new game, which means we start with nothing unlocked, as you might imagine. We're immediately going to do a skip, where we're going to go into this bush corner. We're going to jump and swap characters at the same time, which gives us a little bit of extra height on our jump, and allows us to make it over. Whenever I have an opportunity to run off an edge, I will melee off the edge, because it gives me a slight forwards boost. And then we're going to do something here called pause menu storage, which I'll explain when we have a little bit of extra time later. There's a lot of glitches in this, so I'm also going to do this jump, called board jump, and that was all a lot at once. But essentially, we've just skipped straight to the end of the level by jumping over that board. So since we're in a new game, we're able to quit out at any point and just continue from where we left off. So since we did that, we did a pause menu storage to skip some cutscenes. The boss didn't spawn. We had to quit out to make the boss spawn back in. So, contrary to what might seem obvious, this boss's weak point isn't in his head, it's actually his chest. Which we didn't know for the longest time during this game, and that was a really good cycle. So, once this cutscene happens, I can explain pause menu storage, or PMS. What I'm doing is I'm pressing escape and the weapon wheel button on the same frame, both of which kind of pause the game environment. But if you press both of them on the same frame... Oh, I messed up, alright. If you press both of them on the exact same frame, and then you press weapon wheel again whilst the pause menu is open, it will pause the weapon wheel that you had open at the same time. And that allows you to walk around whilst having the pause menu open, which means that we can press restart level whilst in a cutscene, which just lets us skip cutscenes. Well, some cutscenes anyway. So now we're in level 2 Amish. This has the particularly biggest use of PMS, at least in like a single skip kind of way. So I'm going to quickly line up sniper shot on this here. Activate PMS. Restart level. So here we're going to do another PMS into this cutscene. For whatever reason, once we skip this cutscene with PMS, it's going to put us out of bounds, and we're not quite sure why. I think it's something to do with the game tries to put you kind of halfway in between this cutscene's position and the origin of the level. About halfway. And for whatever reason, that just happens to be out of bounds. So we can skip the entirety of one objective, and we can quickly get the save point so we can get back in bounds. Right. So coming up here, we're going to have the first instance of 2-player 1 controller. Sorry, no, 1-player 2 controller, all the way around. So we're going to drop in a second player if my controller wants to work. There we go. We're going to be controlling both players in one go. So I'm going to, I'm kind of holding my, you might be on the webcam, I'm kind of holding my arms crossed. So we're going to use Brian to activate these switches. Oh. And we're going to navigate Stewie across these bridges.
There's gotta be something we can do to take that place down.
And yeah, so this stops us from having to play by ourselves and then just walk all the way, or death walk back all the way up. We do this. At the end, we're going to drop out our second player. We're going to activate a PMS. And we're going to restart level. And there we go. Alright. platforming, and then we're just going to go straight to the boss. Because I died there, I kind of missed the cycle deal to make that jump. Alright. So, because also we reset the level, all enemies spawn back in. So, I'm going to make sure to kill this particular enemy right here on the beginning of the bridge. Otherwise, they can kind of wreck us when we spawn back in. But this is an example of a cutscene that can't PMS. It just doesn't work. Kind of in the same way a lot of cutscenes do. PMS only tends to work in cutscenes which end with a fade to black, or which are skippable in New Game. And this is one of those cutscenes where it like pans back to your character. So PMS doesn't work on it. An interesting artifact of skipping the start area, because this is like technically a backtrack point. So we're going to have to deal with all the enemies that would be here the first time we go through the level. So this boss can be a little bit tricky. The enemy doesn't get in my way. So you have to hit both eyes for this enemy. But for some reason, the boss itself, you have to wait like half a second before you're able to hit him. Alright, I'm just going to kill a couple of enemies. Then we're going to take our first store trip. We're going to go and pick up a Boom Bear. And we're also going to pick up a clip size upgrade. A couple of things to help us out in this next level. This is the longest cutscene in the game. There is absolutely no way to skip it in New Game. So we just have to sit here and watch this guy go down. If you've got anything to plug, you've got a couple of seconds here.
Excellent. Well, we do have a $10 donation that came in during the end of the last run from Weber Papa. Hello, UKSG and Dadkey, who was a previous runner. Doing my part of chipping in. Hopefully we get the 2K soon. Amazing run while juggling all your dad duties, Hanky. Keep up the amazing work you do. Thank you so much for that $10. And like I said, that was to the previous runner as well. But please do feel free to donate to Crisis, as it's a great charity to support.
Thank you. As here, we're just doing another PMS to skip this cutscene. So there is a really big skip you can do here to skip this entire bottom section. But it is definitely not marathon safe, especially doing it on New Game. Where it is a lot harder than New Game Plus. So we're just gonna avoid that skip for now. So the point of this level is there's going to be 3 guards we have to defeat to get codes for doors. So we're also going to see the first example coming up here of rapid fire abuse, which is where some weapons like the sniper have a slow fire rate, but if you shoot with the sniper and then swap back to it by pressing its like corresponding key to swap to it, which is free, the sniper, it like, refreshes the cooldown rate on its like fire delay. So we're going to drink the beer here, which is Brian's special ability, which gives him extra damage. I'm just going to swap back and from the sniper so he able to shoot it really fast. Also here we get our first instance of an interact wheel. So when you're interacting with something like that, it comes up with a blue wheel to like show its progress. If you take any form of damage whilst it's going on, it ends your progress. You have to restart it. This has become a very apparent thing we have to deal with in the next level particularly. So we're going to do some more 2-player shenanigans. So here we're going to bring Brian up. We're going to shove Stu in a corner just to keep him safe. So here we're going to be trying to skip the second guard. But also I'm going to activate these 2 top ones of Brian. We're going to throw down a wacky tube man just to protect Brian for now. Stewie's going to die. Oh, yeah, that's unfortunate. So Stewie's going to spawn on top of Brian here because he died. We'll just send Stewie back. Alright. So, if Brian is in the perfect position, he doesn't get pushed back too far. Oh, that's a little bit risk. Alright, it's fine. So that's cutscene involved. Oh, that's wrong. That cutscene involves the guard coming through the open door. But if you end the cutscene while stood in front of the door doesn't quite close yet. It's meant to end during the cutscene, like close. So you have like a brief window where you can just straight walk through the door. It's still open. There's no such skip to do in this one, so I'm just going to do this one normally. This one could be a little bit tough, especially with the amount of ends we can get here. He also spawns a little bit far away from us. Sometimes he just also likes to just move in the complete opposite direction to us. Alright, that was fine. Quickly. Oh. Clear up some guys. Also, we spin this, we're going to another PMS. Go into this cutscene. Start level. So here we're going to try and get the one cycle on the boss. Oh, we didn't even need this. Excellent. Yeah, so in this boss you're meant to like the boss needs to move side by side in the arena whilst you get to different cannons to kill him. Because the reload's really long on these cannons. But it turns out it's faster to repair the cannons than it is to wait for them to reload. And so in most circumstances we're just going to repair the cannon and we can get them one cycle. I hope we have enough money. We just have enough. So we're going to buy the rocket launcher for Stewie, which is a fantastic weapon, especially for this stage. Let me go too quickly. We have a PMS. Alright, so this is the level which most new players find quite hard. It's a lot of that one mechanic where with the blue wheel, where if you take damage, it pauses your progress. We have to do 4 of those in areas with turrets and a lot of enemies spawn in this particular section. So some of these are tricky. We can do the first and the last tank really without issue without using items, but the second and third tank, we're going to use items to distract the enemies, specifically the 2 Wacky Tube men we picked up.
Okay, see what we learned here? When Evil Stewie activates a tank, we have to replace it.
So we're gonna first of all here destroy this tank because it will see us no matter what. We're gonna look and see if we get any enemies on the 2 sides. We've got an enemy there. Okay, cool. And then we're going to here, and I'm gonna swap between Stewie and Brian over and over because for whatever reason makes your hitbox slightly smaller.
Oh no, that was my favorite tank.
I'll take this death. Alright. So here we're going to use a Tube Man, which they're like the strongest distract item, because every single enemy will get distracted by them, pretty much no matter what. So it leaves us open to destroy them. The weapon we get in this level is we get given the Satchel Charge, which is like a detonatable bomb. So we're going to put down 2 here, just so we can preemptively destroy these trucks, like enemy spawners. Make our lives easier later. So this is the one we need this, because after the last tank, a lot of enemies have spawned in that kind of vicinity.
I'll be sending you a bill for this.
Once we have some time to kill, we're going to destroy some tanks, get some enemies and some money. Alright, we're going to go to the last one. This one could be a little bit tricky. It's a little bit more RNG dependent because it depends on where enemies spawn. Whether you can get hit or not very easily. So we'll see. Oh, I do kill the enemies on the side. Oh, we got very lucky with that one. Alright, so we're going to do the boss now. whilst we wait, we'll just grab some extra money. Safety.
Alright, you asked for it.
Alright. So, in the new game, without using a very hard strat, we can't one-cycle this first phase of the boss. We have to two-cycle it, unfortunately. So, we're going to use Brian's Sniper and his beer to one-cycle Evil Stewie over here, using this tank. Yeah. Again, if you want any more donations or anything to plug, go ahead.
Well, I don't have any donations right here and now, but I would actually like to thank out a couple of massive contributors to UKSG. ESA, as we're hosting on their platform right now, so thank you very much to ESA, and I'd also like to thank BSG as well for supporting the marathon at the same time. Both of which have been massive contributors to ESA. BSG's been with us from the very beginning and spreading the word and providing us with a channel to stream on as well, and past sessions, among other things. BSG actually have their online 5, their next marathon, which is happening on the 18th and 20th of June, and submissions for that event are now open. So if you're a speedrunner and want to get something into a marathon, BSG's a great one to go for, as this event is also streamed on ESA's platform as well. So even if you're not a speedrunner, please consider giving this channel a follow, as we have a lot more up and coming events going on this very channel right here and now.
Thank you. So unfortunately I died before I was able to end the first cycle. That sucks. To be here. Alright, so we can very easily one cycle, well, one hit like the next cycle by stopping just Stewie. So I'm gonna swap. We're gonna drink Stewie's soda, which gives him infinite ammo. So we're going to fire 5 satchels, and then we can just one hit the mirror. Alright. Now we're going on to the most memed level, because it's already done. So there, the hitbox, so you meant to go and assassinate this cheeseburger mayor. It's Family Guy, don't question it. But his hitbox that you meant to hit is always spawned in from the start of the level. And so you can just immediately turn around and hit him. And yeah, that level, that IL is like 3 seconds or something. So this is the kind of the slowest level in the run. It doesn't have that many like big skips, other than a couple of cutscene skips. So we've had all our items taken from us, these pirates, except for so we've had all our weapons taken except for our items. So we're just gonna summon Joe, who shoots enemies, and these boom bears who blows up enemies, to quickly clear up the first wave of enemies. Very good. Alright, so we're just gonna wait around whilst Seamus frees all the prisoners. Very much we can do whilst we're on wait. I'm gonna grab this money as well, just for safety. Alright, so when we go up these stairs, we're going to use a lot of enemies here, which will affect us getting our stuff back. We'll just use a golden chicken at the quick earlier to clear it. And this is where Stewie's rocket launcher really comes in useful, is like mobbing big groups of enemies. Oh. Chicken not doing his job. So this middle deck is something I've put a lot of time into routing effectively, and because it's just such a big mobbing section. But Stewie's rocket launcher is again fantastic. So we're gonna kill all the base enemies on the floor and then spawn trap them in that doorway, and then we're just gonna stand up here and snipe the rest of the enemies as they come down. We're going to do another PMS, but this time instead of restarting level, we're going to quit the main menu. Because like the save point for the next checkpoint is at the start of the cutscene, so we'll just go out and come back in. Oh. Alright. And now this is the auto-scroller of this game. We just have to wait. And use the cannons to destroy these pirate ships. We're going to try and like lead our shots. So we'll fire a shot as it's coming into the frame. That's about all all you can do here to speed the section up. Throw boxes. So again, anything else you want to plug, go ahead.
Well, we don't have any donations in right now, but I can talk a little bit about the charity that we are raising money for over the course of this weekend. So, the charity that we're raising money for is Crisis. So, Crisis are a charity that are dedicated to helping homeless people find and keep a rented home. And they do this by working with landlords to ensure a supply of places to live and giving homeless people the tools and knowledge that they need to rent successfully. The Housing Resource Centre provides information and training for housing professionals. The help and rent database lists private sector renting schemes across the UK. Sorry, I had a little bit of a moment there. My mind didn't want to work. So basically, what Crisis are doing is helping people get themselves into a home and actually provide them with education, actually get themselves into a job to keep said rented home as well. So if you feel like helping out a great cause, Crisis is a great one. So please do get your donations in for that charity.
Yeah, alright, so we're coming up to the end here. Just got one more ship to go. And then we're going to have the boss. So here we're also going to sell quick PMS. We're going to do the quick game version again. And we're going to kind of go for one cycle Peter here, which is the hardest one cycle to hit in new game. So hopefully we can get it. It requires a very precise rapid fire. Yep, alright. That's fine. Yeah, so it feels a little bit like RNG sometimes, whether that wants to work or not. But yeah. At least it's 30 seconds to not get it, but it's pretty tricky to do it. So we just have to simply sit and wait for it to come back down. Alright, he's back. Alright. So that's Long John done. We don't need to purchase anything here. Continue on. Into Santa's, which is possibly one of the harder levels in the game. So, coming up we're going to have a kind of precise a jump to skip this kind of first section. You usually need to go and activate I was going to show us here, you're going to have to activate a valve to raise the sludge back up so you can walk across. We can do a kind of a tight corner jump. Just skip having to do this. This is like a lot of games. You can briefly, after running off a platform, still jump. We can use kind of that rule to jump off the edge of this and bend yourselves around the corner. That's good. Alright, so this level is particularly difficult because of this this first floor. There are a lot of enemies here. There can be possible bomb elves that can one-hit you. Yeah, it's just a straight climb to the top. Watching in late game, there's not that many cutscenes you can now skip with PMS. They all work a little bit differently. So I have my health pack ready to go, just in case, because you can take a lot of damage. These areas. Gonna activate that as we jump over the banister, or the railing. Let's get some more quickly. I'm gonna do a jump off of a missile. I'll jump off of and onto another missile to skip having to walk around. Alright. So here you can get a little bit of a boost if you like put on the presents in like the right angle. You didn't really get a good one. And another kind of precise jump here. A little skip. So this is an area that I dread a lot when I come here and run. It's run across these fans without waiting for their cycle to finish. That was fine. Because you're very easy to just get blown off there. I'm going to do a swap jump, but to have a little precise angle here. Well, that was nearly it. Come on. You can do it. There we go. Yeah, so if you get up just the right way, there's for some reason that set of gears has just a slope on it. You can just run up it. I'm going to head to the end of the level. Get this health. Alright, so coming to Santa here. So for Santa you have to shoot each of these 8 reindeer. They all take a single sniper shot to defeat. And you can one cycle him by doing one passing of the screen. It's a little bit tight, but we'll have to see how this goes.
I'm gonna have to kill you. Merry Christmas, dicks.
Alright, now you've got to kill Santa.
Okay, I don't have enough money. Bye. So let's see how this goes. Oh, just barely got it. Very nice. Alright, so when we go to the store, I'm going to make sure I buy one item. Any item will do. I'm going to buy the railgun, which is the strongest weapon in the game. I'm going to quickly grab a total ammo rounds, upgrade. And on we go. Alright, so here is the only example we're going to do here in the run. Actually, no, sorry, it's the first example of a satchel jump. So we're going to throw a satchel into a corner. And since they've got a physical hitbox, you should, if I can actually get it. I'm going to need to grab some more extra ammo. As you can jump off of them. But if I'm not getting this one, I'm going to really struggle with the last one. Really? There we go. So yeah, that skips doing the entire first room. We need at least one satchel charge to do this. We're going to jump over this. Let's do this. Which skips a cutscene. And by skipping the cutscene and then throwing an item from this door, we can open it from the other side. And that's just allowed us to skip the entirety, pretty much, of the level. That door's meant to use for backtracking, but throwing an item to it just happens to hit the hitbox of the trigger on the other side. Here, I spawned a second player in as I got to the top of the stairs, which means I could that. Oh, good, I've got mine. Yeah. So, skipping the cutscene allows me to skip doing the maze for the gas tubes. Because since the cutscene didn't activate, the door technically wasn't closed, and so I could just throw an item into it to make it open. And I'm just gonna run to the end of the level here. So the boss of this level is particularly hard on New Game. I'll discuss when we get there. So let's do this jump. So this boss has a cutscene at the start of it, which you can skip on New Game Plus, but you can't skip on New Game. Which is a problem, because watching the cutscene causes a lot of chickens to spawn, And to deal damage to the boss, you have to activate a switch like every time you do a third of the boss's health. Because when you get hit when you're trying to activate something, it means you can't do it. You get like interrupted. And so these enemies can be a little bit tricky sometimes. Taking a death here usually happens. Here we're going to do the 2 seconds of damage. Then I'm going to swap to Stewie and then just kind of deal with all these enemies. Alright. If we reload this. Okay, that went very well. All things considered. I think I'm going to stop Stewie because I'm going to need him as my main character coming up. I'm also going to drop a second player in. This is the last point we get to buy things, but we don't need anything. So the reason I dropped in the second player here, and the reason I haven't bought any health upgrades, is dropping the second player into this fight. Playing co-op in this fight means you fight each other rather than in single player. You just fight the AI. But the health of the chicken is based off the amount of health upgrades you've gotten, because you're playing in co-op. And so fighting the chicken, just like beating up the second player, not only does the boss not have any AI, but it has significantly less health. It saves about 40 seconds over fighting the boss just the normal way. So we're mainly looking to throw the chicken into the cars which explode and any like big clusters of objects. Be able to throw into the car, throw into these screens, trap him in the corner. Oh, this last one we're kind of just going to hit him against a wall. Easiest thing to do. Right. We're just going to just keep him against this, which is the easiest way to do it. Or not. Alternatively, you can just run to the barrels back there. Alright, so interesting enough here, if you press main menu for this option, right. So for some reason also, this cutscene here isn't audio balanced correctly, and is extremely loud. So I've turned down the volume quickly, just so we don't destroy everyone's ears. Okay, we should find out.
Oh, I want one of those.
Alright, so this is the last level. Well, we're going to do possibly one of the hardest skips in the game. So, we did a satchel charge to jump before into a corner. This time we're going to do one against a flat wall. Which is infinitely harder, because, like, it's quite unpredictable the way that the satchel can fall down the wall. Okay. We get about 4 tries there before the dinosaur will just kill us. So yeah. Our goal is to get on top of that light. And we're going to skip phases 1 and 2 of the boss. Cool. And we're going to do a swap jump up. Jump to this building. And we're going to do another precise jump to this building. And then we're going to walk a very tight line across a very thin fence that's here. Okay, very nice. And then we can just walk through a couple of fences and go to the last phase. Alright, so this is the last phase of the final boss. So, be ready on time in like a few minutes. Here we just gotta shoot the gas tank that the dinosaur holds 4 times. There are good and bad cycles for this fight. Oh, I only have 1 health pack. Might want to grab a second. Uh-oh. Okay. Alright, so it's preferable that he goes back on himself there, rather than forwards. If he goes all the way to the end of the street, that's like the worst cycle you can have. Well, there we go. Alright, we didn't get the worst cycle. Although these guys are beating me up. Okay, this is a bit, a little bit monka. Alright, so time's coming up. If I don't die, that is. And... oh. Time. Oh, man. That last phase was real risky. Oh. Anyways, that was an alright time. Couple mistakes, but good. Alright, I want to give a very quick shout out to Toxic, Jay, Hoon. They've all done a lot of work for this game. I've found a lot of things, pushed the time quite low. And I've done a very good job. And of course the rest of the Family Guy speedrun community. This game is a very good run, surprisingly. But of course it would be if it was made by Heavy Iron. Anyway. That'll be me done.